Hello and welcome to the GameSpot UK Podcast. I'm waving to people on Twitch. Everyone here can wave to... I think it's the middle camera here that we're waving to. Hello.
Cameras. We're all covered in cameras.
We are. Yes, that one there. Hello to you out there in internet land, and hello to you that are listening on iTunes at the moment. We've got a special show today in that we're going to be talking about video game music.
Ooh, themed show.
It's a themed show that includes a very special themed quiz. So there will be no news quiz this week, but there will be a music quiz.
And there's a speaker in the room.
There is a speaker in the middle of the room that I've stolen from CNET UK that will be used.
Do they know you've stolen it?
No, but I will put it back after this, and they will be none the wiser.
Then technically that's borrowing.
Yes, it is borrowing. Sorry.
It says NFC. That's got NFC technology. It's fancy.
That's that thing that like loads of phones have now, but has no use.
No, yeah.
Basically. Although I went
to the iPhone doesn't have.
I went to a bus stop the other day, and it had one of those NFC things, and you could hold your phone up.
Now.
You could hold your phone up to it.
Sorry, I mentioned NFC.
But then you hold your phone up to it, and it immediately links you to like the trailer for the film.
Right.
And you can view it on your phone right there.
Cool story.
Cool story, bro.
That's been my problem with phones. I'm having such difficulty finding the trailers for films.
Yeah, but you don't even have to
If only there
type.
were bus stops.
That's my point. You don't have to type. You just hold it up, and there you go.
Bus stops will never be the same again.
They won't. Anyway, we digress. This is Guy Cocker.
Hi.
Who's on the show.
Hello. I need to interrupt this show and tell Martin so that he can get in touch with someone on news that apparently a new Batman Arkham City has been announced. Next in the Arkham series, yes.
You are
kidding. Yes, that's just happening. Apparently. Well, MCV is reporting anyway.
Oh well.
We can
Sure,
ignore
it's not Amazon France reporting.
We can,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
usually
It's
the
usually
source.
what it is, isn't it?
Anyway, carry on.
That's the voice of Mark Robbins there, you heard.
Hello.
So you're here to talk to us about video game music.
I am here to
and
talk about
stuff.
video game music.
So we'll be talking about that in a sec, and we've also got Martin here.
You right?
All right. Be more cheerful about it. We're on the podcast, man.
I am cheerful. That was my cheerful
Your cheery
introduction.
voice. Yes. So this is a video game music special because video game music is awesome.
And it's underrepresented. And there was a discussion doing the rounds about the best love music or the best romantic theme in. Did you see the email chain between teams? Maybe you missed this one.
I missed this.
We were discussing the best love themes in video game music.
Oh,
I'll call up the email to see what's been nominated.
Guy, aren't you NDA'd?
That's pretty romantic.
Am I NDA?
Just divulging
dies.
potential upcoming features.
Potentially, yes. Hopefully I haven't ruined anything. Now if one of our competitors comes out with a similar feature, I have ruined everything.
It's done.
Damn you, Tumblr.
No, well, Erisine, yes, she does die, but
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Oh, that's
a spoiler for like a
15-year-old game.
I think it's cool.
10 years is the standard.
Is that joke not funny anymore?
I don't know.
What's a spoil
Ever
again?
funny.
I don't know. We will get someone someone will be on Twitch. I'll look now saying, "Damn it, I didn't know Aerith died."
Yeah, they'll probably do that. So romantic music in games. I don't know what would be the most romantic. I would say that's really romantic, the Aerith theme. But then
Theme of love from Final Fantasy.
theme of love for Final Fantasy. I'm
This
trying to
is
think of
good-
like
this
a
is good
non-Final
knowledge.
Fantasy romantic.
There's some good music. I mean, Icos are good.
I would also say the Elaine Marley's theme from Monkey Island. That always gets me.
Really?
Yep.
It was good.
We're already getting suggestions, but not. I don't know if this is love based, but Jim Dove says Shadow of the Beast / Ghouls and Ghosts, both on Amiga. Pwn all music, he says.
Pwn all music.
Pwn all music. In fact,
I would say
I'm not
a
sure
lot of
about that.
music.
Yeah, not all music ever.
well, he says, presumably, he says, in fact, the Amiga had by far the best collection of game music on it. I mean, I'm fond of the Amiga, but
Well, the Amiga was interesting because it had a unique sound chip in it.
Yeah.
It could produce better sound than most things. That's why that and the Atari ST as well. The Atari ST was used for music production for years.
That's because it had a
like a
MIDI
thing.
port in it.
this is good music knowledge.
It is good music.
We should say that Mark Walton you studied sound engineering, didn't you? So this is his area of expertise. So we've got no chance at winning this upcoming.
Well,
year.
no, but this is the. I'm not asking you can you identify the instrumentation in these songs? Or
What was the
could you
chip
tell me,
used in the
Yeah, well,
Atari
like
ST?
how much compression do you think they put on that bass? No, I'm
12%.
12%. You can. Well, it doesn't really work like that, but okay.
It's a good guess, though.
It is a good guess. No, they're going to be basically the quiz later is going to be. I've got a selection of video game songs, and the idea is that I'm going to play them to you, and you have to try and tell me what game it's from. And I won't just accept the franchise. I want the exact game.
This is going to be challenging.
It is going to be challenging.
Still on the chat, Jim Dove says, romantic music. How about Cannon Fodder intro theme? That's my sex music. It's already gone.
That's my sex music.
It's already gone weird in the chat. We've been going for 3 minutes.
I can't imagine making love to Cannon Fodder. I'm sorry.
Have you tried?
I've not tried, admittedly, but it's
we go.
something that perhaps might not be that arousing.
Seb, we've got someone with audio lag problems. It's making them trip balls. Can we look into that? We're on it. Apologies for that.
Anyway, so Mark, you're here about video games music.
I am.
Do the pitch.
Okay, my name's Mark Robbins.
Do the pitch go.
Do the pitch go.
And I run a Facebook page, or a community pressure group, as I prefer to call it, called Get Video Game Music into the Classic FM Hall of Fame. And that's literally what I'm trying to do. The Classic FM Hall of Fame is the world's largest poll of classical music tastes. It takes place every year. And there are 300 pieces of incredible music in there, like Mozart, Beethoven, Sibelius, Mahler, even film music.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars theme is in there, Pirates of the Caribbean, Howard Shore, Lord of the Rings, always does very well. Hans Zimmer's Gladiator theme, excellent music. That's my bedroom music.
Nice.
See, I could imagine making love to that, though. Anyway.
Moving on.
But until last year, there was no video game representation in there. And I was at the Distant Worlds concert in 2011. I don't know if you were at that concert.
Yeah, I went.
It was a fantastic concert. And the ovation afterwards, standing ovation, went on for ages. Absolutely awesome. There is so much love for that music. It is of exactly the same level of quality as the music you see in movies. And there are hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, who love this music. This music's not being represented in this poll. And I didn't think that was fair, so I did a single Facebook post saying, wouldn't it be great if we all voted some of this music into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
And we did very well, and at the end of last year's poll, we had 2 pieces of video game music in there for the first time. So
What were the pieces?
So it was Jeremy Saul's theme to Skyrim, which came in at number 238. And we also had Aerith's theme by Nobuo Uematsu, which came in at number 16.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is an incredible achievement. It's one ahead of Adagio for Strings. I can't think of the name of the composer.
I can't remember.
Shall I Google this?
But if you've seen Platoon...
Yeah. Adagio for Strings is one of the most famous.
Yeah, it's when Willem Dafoe dies, and it's the slow motion piece of music, and it's that really beautiful, slow, sad piece of music that plays.
It's in D minor, which is the saddest of all keys.
It is. It is very sad. Beautiful piece of music, but one piece higher than that is Aerith's theme, which I think is an incredible achievement. But I would say rightly so. You know, I think it absolutely deserves its place there.
So you're continuing the campaign this year.
Yes.
What's the aim this time then? Because if you've already got 2 pieces of music in there.
Well,
it's
what more do you want?
What more do you want? I mean, where do you go?
What's left?
Well, there's always 15 places higher.
Yeah.
Well, one of the interesting things about the poll is it is an annual poll, and it does chart changing musical tastes. So we started with 1 post last year. Now we've got several thousand people know about it and they're interested in it. If we can get more people voting in it, and we get more representation of the music in there, we get more tracks in there, we get higher positions for it, then I think it says we're not a flash in a pan, and this music absolutely deserves its place there. And 2, it gets more recognition for it, and that's kind of basically what I'm after. And 3, I would just love to see more of this kind of music being played on the radio.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Classic FM Hall of Fame is obviously a very important thing, but do you think there's a sort of loftier aim there? Because once it's in the Classic FM Hall of Fame, so you do get the number 1 spot or whatever. I mean, are awards a sort of thing that you want to go for from here? Or, I mean, because it's just one thing.
There is a game category in the Ivan Novellas.
Yeah.
I think. I'm sure I'm sure a game won it for the first time. I think it was Journey, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Can anyone remember this story? Maybe
Journey
I'll look
was
into this.
Nominated for. It's the first time an actual video game score was nominated for the Grammys, which took place on Sunday night. It was nominated for best soundtrack to a visual medium. That used to be the best movie soundtrack, and it's only recently that they've actually changed it to visual medium, so that things other than movie and TV can be included. Yeah. Basically, video games.
Which is good.
Which is an incredible achievement, and that's basically the aim. I think the whole point of the chart is it's it's open to everyone in the world, so it should be getting everyone's, what's their favourite piece of classical music. I would argue for hundreds of thousands of people, this kind of music is to them what classical music it is about. And like they say on Classic FM, if Beethoven and Mozart were alive today, who's to say they wouldn't be recording soundtracks to movies and video games?
Sure.
True.
And and I absolutely believe that this is great music, and I'd like people to enjoy it for the sake of the music rather than, it's a piece of music from a video game. I'm not gonna. They don't even have to know it's from a video game.
Yeah.
But I like them to listen to the music and then go, oh, that's from a video game.
Yeah.
That's I never realised. I thought video games were just people running around with guns.
Well, what was the response from Classic FM like? Because obviously, this is probably outside of their comfort zone, as it were.
It absolutely was outside their comfort zone. But I have to say, they were hugely positive about it. They, they want the chart to be as far-reaching as possible. They want all musical tastes catered for. And so long as the piece of music is orchestral, that's what they class as classical music. Yeah. Anything played by an orchestra, or even, it could be a piece of piano music or a string quartet.
Yeah.
They want people voting and putting those opinions into that chart. So they're actually hugely positive about it. They kept in contact with the Facebook page and Twitter feed, responded to questions, and when they actually played the music, it wasn't like, something a bit strange now. It's a piece of video game music. They were like, this is really great music, and if people are voting for it, it thoroughly deserves its place in the chart.
Yeah.
And from there, at the end of last year, they've since put on 2 full shows of nothing but video game music, which I think, if you think about it, Classic FM is the biggest national commercial radio station in the country.
Yeah.
That's a huge audience, a huge established audience. To give away 2 hours of their Saturday night schedule to playing something that's completely off their radar is a massive risk, especially as it's a commercial station. But, they felt strongly that this music needs to be represented off the back of the fact that so many people are voting for it.
Yeah.
So in effect, we've kind of changed...
You've changed how they...
How, changed the radio landscape a little bit.
There's a lot of love in the comments for video game music in general. Just to go back to that earlier point, Journey was nominated for a Grammy this year, but didn't win, unfortunately.
Trent Reznor won.
Right, for film? I can have a look, I think.
Have a look.
But yes, it was the first game ever to be nominated in the visual media category.
Fair play. Journey is just so many awards for that game. So many awards.
It's BAFTA, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, Mr. Robbins,
Yes,
while we have you here, BAFTA have their nominations.
Let me guess. It's I say guess. I know because I read it
For
earlier
the
today.
audio achievement category.
You're looking at best original game music. Is the one. Audio
there?
achievement will be things like sound effects.
Yeah, that's right.
There's 2 different
Keep looking
categories.
down.
So the game category, I think the nominated titles
There is
are
original music,
Diablo
yes.
3,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't see that
Journey,
personally, but,
Journey, yes.
Assassin's Creed 3,
Yes.
Yeah.
something about Thomas.
Oh, Thomas was alone.
Close, that's half
Yes.
That got
That's
that
4.
that got
There's
a lot
2
of
more,
nomination.
wasn't there?
the point. Yeah.
There's 6 in total, isn't there?
They both have the in the title.
The Dying Swan?
Unfinished one.
Unfinished Swan, sorry.
No.
No?
No. I think it's a no.
You just tell
Oh,
us.
no, Unfinished One's in it, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
you got to say yeah.
Oh, it's building it up, like Simon Cowell might do on one of his television shows.
Oh, this is annoying because I actually tweeted them all this morning to say congratulations.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
Walking
What's the
Dead?
last one?
It's
Walking Dead,
Dead.
yes,
The Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So BAFTA's Journey was a big winner in the nominations.
Journey
Across
had
the
the
board.
most nominations by some margin. The Walking Dead and Far Cry 3 also did very well. But yeah, this is the BAFTA Academy, no, the British Academy Games Awards 2013, which takes place on March the 5th.
Yes.
And is being
quite soon.
hosted by Dara O. Is it Brian?
Brian.
I can never say it
It
properly.
looks like Brian, but
Does
it's
look like
Brian.
Brian.
He is very funny though, and he actually does like games.
He's very good. He's very interested in games.
He doesn't play them as much as I imagine anyone who's listening to this does. But
Well,
he
no,
plays
but then
them.
he has other things to do. Like
He plays them a
Mock
lot,
of the
like-
week, and
He's got an analysis of GTA. Like he did a thing on GTA 4. Like I forget where I heard it, and he's absolutely right. And he And his angle, so when you look at the angle that we always take, it's like, oh, we need our games to be really big and really in depth and full of systems. He's like, well, I'm a very busy man. This game's really long. And you're like, and you think about it, and you're like, yeah, it is really long. And so he does have a really good, I trust his opinion on games. And the point is that I think he comes at them slightly different to people in our profession, but I really like his opinion. I think it's super valid. And when he talks about games, I sit there and I listen and I think about it, which, since we work in an industry where, we get celebrities up on stage and they go, oh my God, I'm so excited for insert product name here. And they do 3 photographs and leave.
Those would be the people that would present the awards.
Yeah.
They usually.
He's very much an advocate for, if I've bought a game and I can't get past a level, I should just be able to get past it anyway, because otherwise you're denying me. If I've spent £40 on a game and I've only got halfway through, that's £20 worth of content.
Right. Okay, I suppose.
I suppose it depends on the game. If it's a big story-driven game, fair enough. If it's a puzzle game, no.
Nintendo's got that approach now, haven't they? With a lot of their platformers, where you press a button and you can skip it.
Oh yeah,
or see it done.
That winds me up.
That skip button, that's the jump button, isn't it?
I've used it actually.
No. It basically, if you die a load of times, first thing it does is it comes up with a special power up. Well, I can't remember. It's either one or all, basically. It comes up either with a special power up that says, okay, you're now invincible and you can go through the level and you won't die.
Right.
But you still die if you fall down holes. And then there's the other one where it just puts Luigi on the screen and then it just plays the whole level through for you. But you don't get any of the bonuses.
Right. I remember in Donkey Kong, it's now a mainstay of the Mario games, one of which you reviewed recently. Was it the DS one, 3DS one? You didn't review Wii U one. New Super Mario Bros. 2.
That was on the DS.
Standard DS.
Standard DS. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Dara. I think it's probably a good idea to have that button in.
In certain games,
you don't have to use it.
I just think some games are not deserving.
Like what?
Of it. I just think puzzle games is a big one. If you're being forced to think about them, that's the whole point of a puzzle.
When you and I were playing Portal 2, would we have wanted that button?
No.
Co-op? No.
Well,
we feel cheated.
We did want the button, but the fact that we wanted the button, it was why we shouldn't have had the button.
Exactly. Sorry, Mark.
That's like having a crossword book, though, and you can only do crossword number 1, then crossword number 2.
Yeah.
And you can't do the next crossword until you've done that crossword.
Yeah, I guess. But I guess that's more an element of game design than it is necessarily something that requires a hint. Say, in Portal, because it's quite linear, you can only go from one puzzle to the next, but there might be a puzzle game where you can jump between them, in which case it's irrelevant, the fact that you're stuck on one.
Right.
And if you can go away and do another one and hopefully come back to that one later and eventually get it, then that works.
The thing with Portal, and maybe more so the original game as well, this is quite geeky and boring, but the way that it teaches you to do things, you have to solve that puzzle to be able to understand the mechanics of the next puzzle. That's
true.
Would you agree, Martin? That's a Valve kind of...
If you listen to the developers' commentary, one of the things I tell everyone to do is after you've played Portal and Portal 2 is to go back, play the whole game again with Valve's developer commentary on. If you're even remotely interested in games, because it is completely illuminating. You play through it and then you hear people from Valve talking and then you apply the kind of things you've learned to pretty much, I do anyway, to every game I subsequently play. And you see why Valve are the masters of just constantly iterating on their own product before it comes out. You realise you played Portal and you think this was great, and then you play it again with the developer's commentary, and then you realise why it was great because of that sort of clarity of purpose and vision and that unify. Oh man, it's another podcast, another time when I gush over Valve.
The Valve special where we dissect every Valve game.
One of the things, back to the awards quickly, but one of the things I was talking to Martin about is how broken awards are. Yeah, which I am a firm believer in now.
Yeah, you think all award ceremonies are broken?
No, I think video games awards are broken.
Okay.
And so there was a really great article about this. I can't remember where it was, but I read and just made some really great points. And the point is that video games awards are based around certain classifications that don't make any sense. So downloadable game, for instance, does not make any sense, particularly nowadays. All games are downloadable games. Why do we have to single out the way it's delivered rather than the merits of the actual game? Or an best Xbox game or best PS3 game. Really, it should be more like the Oscars, where the Oscars has awards that basically can span any type of film. It doesn't matter. So, i.e., best music can apply to anything.
Yeah.
A downloadable game, a mobile game, a regular game, or it could be best visuals or something that is applicable to everything rather than trying to single stuff out in that way. And I don't think there is a need to do that anymore with video games.
And kind of like maybe movie award ceremonies have similar structures though. Like I think for the BAFTA Film Awards, it has to have been released in a film has to have been released in cinemas before a certain date,
Okay.
and so that's maybe applying the same logic. You know, you've got straight to DVD films or whatever that might be good, and
Yeah, but that's, I mean, but
films that aren't in the
you know,
cinema.
but that's just a limitation of, you know, saying that this is the year that we're going to set for these awards, and that's fine. But it's the fact that they're structured in a way that is so limiting
Right.
that doesn't make sense anymore.
I think
No, I
there's some
agree.
really
I just
obvious
don't know-
stuff.
I don't know what the answer
How
is.
many years has the BAFTA Games Awards been going?
Quite a while. I will find out.
Feels like a while.
No, if you look at
It's going to be what 6, 7, 8.
think
How
it's
many,
longer.
how many years has the Oscars been going for? Probably.
Oh, the Oscars has been going
probably
since
about
like the
100.
At least 10.
So it's
At least 12.
At least, the Oscars have had a lot of time to iron out its kinks. I mean, the Oscars used to have some bizarre categories as well that you wouldn't
absolutely.
really think, and it's taken them that long to get a uniformed set of categories. The problem with the games industry is it's changing so quickly that the award ceremony can't keep up with.
But that's the thing. In that case, we shouldn't, when we think up the awards, we shouldn't be trying to keep them in these categories that are platform specific or
yeah,
genre
no, I
specific
agree
or
with you
things
there.
like that. You know, it doesn't make any sense anymore.
There's some stuff I do like. Like if you look at, I do mostly agree with Mark, but if you look at like the BAFTAs this year, if you look at the original music category, you see that like Diablo 3 wins that prize. If it wins, it wins. Diablo 3 wins, or Thomas Was Alone wins, or Assassin's Creed 3 wins. It's not, you know, if you look at like the Oscars or a movie award ceremony, it will be so and so for Assassin's Creed or so and so for Diablo.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the thing we could start to think about a little more. Like you see a lot. It's always about. I find games is always about the actual games, which you think would be the right thing to do, but then you've got a lot of people working on games in the background, and I think the merits of the developers who are producing these kind of things do deserve some form of award as well, which is what you get in the Oscars. You get the teams who are working on these things to get the recognition that they deserve. I think one of our biggest problems is that like the teams working on these games very rarely get their chance in the public eye, or you know, we don't have that sort of director culture where
Yeah, I guess. I mean, absolutely, you don't have the average Joe, I imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch viewers, but wouldn't know if a game is developed by X studio or whatever. They'll know the game, and the fact that it's developed by whoever is largely irrelevant. At least
I don't know. A lot of people in the games, like I think.
I mean, with the
as
exception
game
of a
fan-
few big games. But, you know, Call of Duty would be one maybe where
Sure.
people know like Treyarch and like, you know,
And
that
Infinity
makes,
Ward.
and Infinity Ward, and that makes sense. But I think the vast majority it's just not a known quantity, you know.
Is there a category for best DLC costume?
No,
there should be.
There should
That's a
be.
missed opportunity.
There should be.
Why,
So
what would it go to?
Ooh.
is this going to be
I hadn't
Dishonored?
thought the joke long enough to do that, to be
Yeah.
honest.
it's just horse armor every
It's
year.
just
horse
horse armor, yeah.
The horse armor award for best DLC downloadable costume.
Sponsored by, yes.
I'm looking through the various awards. There are things like online browser and then online multiplayer.
It's
and
stuff like that. It's
I kind of understand what you're talking about. It's difficult though.
I think
it
it's
changes
because
every year as well.
They've got what, a 1.5 hour award ceremony to fill. And so they're going to need like 15, 20 categories.
Yeah.
And they feel that, and I think that the idea is they're not comfortable awarding the actual people, like people in the way that they do in film and in books. So they end up having to think like, online mobile or like best browser game, so they can just get back to that sense of putting titles in. Like if you look at the performer category, it's the actual performers, you know, it's, you know, I'm going to get the names probably wrong here, but like Melissa Hutchinson, who does Clementine in The Walking Dead, she's the nomination as opposed to The Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead is obviously put in there, and I think that's the kind of thing. I think if we work more and more towards that, if it's like next, if it goes to studios next, if it's like you know, Ubisoft, whichever one made it
Montreal,
for Far Cry 3 or something.
Yeah.
One of the things I really believe in is this idea that like developers deserve to be more.
Yeah.
And I want it because one of my big concerns is because we see developers when they're doing like an advert for the game, and they'll sit.
Do you mean a developer commentary?
No,
Developer diary.
Developer diary. Yeah.
Diary,
It's an advert. Yeah.
And they sit there and they look a bit awkward because they probably had to go through an intense 3-day training thing for like sitting in front of the advert, and you just never see them again. You never really get to hear. I really think there's a really interesting discussion between developers that we can't have, and I really wish we could, because like I was watching when Gabe. Oh, I'm doing Valve again. Jesus Christ!
Get off Gabe.
Like, when Gabe was doing that talk that's on YouTube, and it was like an hour long.
At DICE, or the one at the university.
The one at the university, and it's just really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm glad that he's putting that kind of thought out there publicly. Like I said a few weeks ago, that I really think like Cliffy B is full of interesting thoughts about game like design and like mechanics and stuff, and I really wish there was a way that he could just get that kind of discussion out there, and I think he does a little bit as well.
Well, the thing is, because he's always on a schedule, isn't he? So he's always promoting, or he was always promoting something. Like, you need to get them away. Like Gay was just talking in general. I mean, they're working on Dota, right? But I don't think he mentions Dota really much in that interview. Although he's just done one with J.J. Abrams at DICE, didn't he?
Yeah.
Where he did mention what he's working
Yeah.
on. He's working on a movie tie-in or something, isn't he? So you need to get the developers off that. So when they haven't got something to promote, because that's when they're thinking about, what DLC can't I reveal, or what can't I say about PlayStation 4?
But then they're always working on something, even if you catch them in between games.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something in the the run.
That's true. That's true. We've gone massively off. I was
Sounds
looking at,
and games are good.
Sound and games.
Those games sound good.
Just talking about Gabe and
That's
and
fine.
Valve,
No, it's fine.
That's what always happens.
Do you know one thing you didn't do? What pimp the website?
No, I haven't. I was getting there.
Get
but
it.
We got sidetracked.
We did
by
get
Valve.
sidetracked. We did
Yes,
get
but
sidetracked.
always start with the website first. That's
Always
my-
start with the website.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Oh, I started with the name of it, just not on the address. So the most important thing is the voting site. So if you go to classicfm.com, and on the front page there, you'll find a link to the 2013 Hall of Fame voting.
Yeah.
You get to vote for 3 tracks. There are now lots of video game tracks in the voting database. This time last year, there was 1.
Wow. Okay.
how many this year? Do you know? Roughly.
In the realm of at least dozens.
Cool.
I think they're based on tracks that people put into the database. Although you can put any track you like in. There is an option there. And, we're saying, again, it would be nice if you want to sort of stand together with people and sort of make that statement to vote for Final Fantasy VII or Aerith Steam again. If you feel strongly you don't want to do that, then absolutely it's an open vote. But, do go there and vote for those tracks, because the more people that go and vote and the more tracks we get in, the more we kind of legitimize this as an important subgenre of kind of classical music. So
Cool.
and then the results will be played over the Easter holidays, and you can follow that on the campaign page, which is facebook.com /ClassicVGMusic. I also have a Twitter feed, which is @ClassicVGMusic.
Cool. What's your favourite video game?
favourite music?
Yeah.
Well, not favourite music.
You
full
seem
stop.
quite
Video
into it in
games.
general.
Yeah,
to be
you just
honest.
see. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
just,
really, lots of people say it's really, really hard to pick a favourite track. If I was going to pick a favourite, I've got lots of different favourites. If I was going to pick a piece of orchestral music, I would sort of choose between 2. One would either be Tizanakan from Final Fantasy X,
right.
which is a lovely piece of
It
music.
is,
It's
yeah.
also my phone ringtone slightly. Sadly.
Oh, you've strayed off the regular ringtone. I can't deal with that.
Shocking.
Oh, really?
Oh, it winds me up. It's one of my pet peeves. I'm sorry. Irregular ringtones.
Guess-
It
The
was
non-standard
It
one.
was fine in the 90s, but
Don't
Yes.
worry, no one phones me anyway. So it's not an issue.
Phony sometimes.
Or the other piece of orchestral is, and here's an interesting thing, is Michael Giacchino's score to the original Medal of Honor.
Okay.
So obviously Michael Giacchino is a big movie composer now. He works a lot with J.J. Abrams. So J.J. Abrams is doing a new Star Wars movie. It's probably a shoo-in that Giacchino is going to score it. A lot of people saying
Not John Williams.
Well, I would John Williams. He just celebrated his 81st birthday.
Right.
He's a stunning, amazing composer, but he probably wants a rest now. I'm going to guess.
I would imagine. Yeah.
But a lot of people saying, well, if Giacchino does it, he can't do Star Wars. It's John Williams' thing. Giacchino started off as a video game composer. One of the first orchestral pieces he did was the music for a Jurassic Park game.
Right.
He then, at the request of Spielberg, because Spielberg made Medal of Honor as kind of like a spin-off from Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So they also, off the back of his Jurassic Park stuff, they brought Giacchino in to score Medal of Honor. And if you ever get the chance to sort of just go to YouTube and just listen to some of the Medal of Honor original score, it's just brilliant, brilliant music. It does have quite a lot of John Williams influence to it, but with his own kind of slant to it. So Giacchino stands before, he's taken over from John Williams for Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan. He is, if anything, the only logical choice to take over from John Williams for the Star Wars thing, in my mind.
Right. I mean, I'm still sceptical about the whole sort of J.J. Abrams doing Star Wars thing, but
Are you that much of a Star Wars
that's
fan,
off
though?
topic. But
You
yeah,
don't
well,
strike me
I
as
am.
a
I
I'm
mean,
very excited. I think you do an excellent job.
I just there's the fanboy in me goes, no one can do Star Wars and Star Trek at the same time. It's just
Sacrilege. He's still doing Star Trek.
Well, yeah, the new film's out really soon, which looks amazing.
Yeah, but he'll.
He's basically turned Star Trek into Star Wars, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the problem. Because he's done that, what is he going to do with Star Wars? Because the whole technique that he had,
Turn into Quantum Leap.
that would be good.
That would be good. Should bring that back
And then he's going to bring that back
in movie form.
and turn it
Well, that's my
into...
point. You've turned Star Trek into this big adventure romp, right? Well, then what? Star Wars is a big adventure romp, but it's just
So-
if he's just going to do the same thing, then they're going to be identical films. It's
There's going to be Star Wars, new Star Wars, and then there's going to be spin-off films, right? Like with Han Solo and Boba Fett. Is that right?
are there?
I heard
this, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Could be so. There's going to be the reboot, and then there's going to be like young Han Solo, the Adventures of Young and Boba Fett. Apparently.
I cringe.
The chat. I'm sure the chat
thought
will
of all
correct
of
me if
these.
I'm wrong on this.
Like, just I don't know.
Young Han Solo.
Yeah, it's not like,
Strapping young
it's
adventurer.
not like young Indiana Jones.
Young Han Solo
You know.
on an adventure, Star Wars.
Good theme tune.
Yeah,
You
put
should
an orchestra background on that.
bang
Done.
done.
Classic FM, boom.
I just want to apologise to the guys in the chat that have been suggesting lots of great themes
Yeah.
during all
Let's have a
this.
You
look.
should absolutely read some out.
Yes, I should if I can scroll up far enough. I think people are just commenting on our age and their favourite.
Our age.
Our age.
Are we looking
yes.
really
I
old
don't know.
today?
Sarah's got in there and said that that we are actually really young. It's just that the toll of this job has just.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh God! So everyone's saying we look really
in
old.
that case, the other stuff I was going to say is, as well as that orchestral stuff, is I would go back to some of that Amiga music. So
Yeah.
Chris Holzbeck's Turrican 2 soundtrack, which is.
How
just
do you get
brilliant.
that stuff though? I mean, can you find it online?
Well,
Is
Chris
it-
Holzbeck did a Kickstarter project to redo all the Turrican music recently, and
right.
he made in the region of $200,000
Whoa,
for
okay.
it.
That's loads.
I met him at E3 last year, which is quite exciting because he's a bit of a hero. I did pump a fair amount of money into his Kickstarter project.
So I'd say half of it's yours. Yours
Yeah,
100
half
grand.
of it's mine. But there are lots of sort of Amiga musicians who are doing Kickstarter projects to sort of do remixes of their top tracks.
That's quite cool.
So some love for the Assassin's Creed series. Some people saying they didn't like the music from the most recent DMC. Now, I'm not a fan of that musical style, although was it noisy? Noisy is more my
was
kind of
noisy.
thing.
So there was. So they got this. I forgot the name of the metal band
Is
they
it
had in.
Combi Christ.
Combi Christ. Was
Yeah,
it Combi
I
Christ?
think it
Sounds
is.
right.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But I thought it fitted that game particularly well.
Yeah,
I mean,
it fits the action.
Very far away from the classical stuff we were talking
Yeah, but I mean, that's part of the DMC sort of vibe, isn't it?
Yes.
DMC's
Yeah.
always had that really sort of shred heavy metal sound. So then, why not have it in the new one? That makes sense.
Other people are saying that we should do an Australia versus GameSpot UK. Are you getting involved in the chat as well, Seb? Seb can't talk today. He's nodding. And that we should do an Ashes. We did the Ashes. Remember the Ashes?
Oh yeah, we used to play cricket. and
We
football
do
and-
cricket games.
yeah.
Dante is God says Kingdom Hearts on PlayStation 2.
Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
had
that
good
was
music
good.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
and-
Jesper Kid. Is it Jesper Kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
his,
kid, yeah.
is he Dutch?
Jesper Kid. His stuff for the Hitman games and the Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2 were brilliant.
Yeah.
Chris and I interviewed a
Very
guy
much so.
called Joris the Man, and he was the man. He did the Killzone soundtrack.
You
And they-
literally are the man.
the man.
Killzone. That actually.
Killzone
was
had a good
it
orchestral
did.
soundtrack.
Shame the game was balls. But
I like Killzone
That's
2.
because you're weird, but like.
Well, I think it's got it's got a very different first-person shooter feel.
Certain charm,
yeah.
I always have this thing where I know I should be playing Call of Duty, 'cause that's what everyone's playing, but I sometimes dip into Killzone.
I don't know. Fair play. Like, I'm sure Killzone's really good. It's just I've tried to get into Killzone.
It's heavy.
I
The
just
controls are
can't.
heavy.
Yeah.
And one of the problems with it is it does have that incredible like orchestral opening sound, but that starts blasting out as you're at the main menu, and you'd be sitting there, you load the game, wait for it to load, you'd be like,
Takes a long time to load.
And it's like, boom, a Killzone, and you're like, bloody hell. I was hoping for like, so if you like a lot of other games like Call of Duty has quite a subdued menu theme.
It does.
And so basically
it builds up.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're sitting there like finding matches, it spins around, and the game's just like going off on one like, bah, 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 and you're like, right, just trying to get into a lobby. It's not that big of an event.
He was saying it takes a long time to do to compose and then record and mix all that stuff. But there's less than 60 minutes of music of orchestral music in that game, but it takes such a long time.
Yeah, but if you think about it, the average symphony is about 45, 50 minutes of music, and that took most of the great composers a year, 2-3 years. When they weren't drunk or on drugs, basically, to compose. So that would sound about right. I mean, how much music is there in the average big movie? It's probably only about an hour and a half, and they probably take a good 6 months to score it. So
there's loads of different suggestions actually. So someone said that I'm just trying to find the comment. So this is Wembley 2018. Said Harry Gregson Williams is the best video game composer.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Did Metal Gear Solid 2
beautiful.
That is good,
which is a great.
Interesting. He didn't.
Takes too long to get into that game though. It took 20 minutes to get into actual gameplay. Sorry,
slow starter. Well, what he did is that was a great example of taking the original theme, which was done by a Japanese composer. I believe Tappy was his name. Probably not his real name,
right?
That's his name in the credits. And Gregson Williams, who was an established film composer, moved into video games and took that theme and turned it into something that was his own and sounded perfect for the game. And it's just another example of like great huge movie composers who are moving into games because it's a whole new avenue for them because it's a absolutely relevant medium. But
I believe he did some work on Call of Duty, or was that Trent Reznor?
I think lots of people have done work on Call of Duty. I think Hans Zimmer did Modern Warfare 2, didn't he? Lorne Balfe did stuff for Modern Warfare.
Sorry, some other good comments here. M16 Mojo says Ultimate 8. I'm going to run through some of these. I love all pudding, says Wario World. And then Fenlick says Battle Raper 5. That's some great ones.
Battle Raper 2, the gamer.
Wing Commander music, that was epic. Loads of great stuff on Amiga. Some agreements about Jesper Kidd from Michael Winner's Ghost.
Streets of Rage.
Never Dead had Megadeth. Apparently, I missed that one. Did you play Never Dead? No,
I never played.
Streets of Rage. I love the music from Streets
of Rage.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm going to be outvoted
Streets
on
of
that
Rage had this awesome sort of 80s electronic feel to it, which then became popular sort of a few years ago in just general music.
Streets of Rage is amazing.
I don't remember.
Do you remember the first Streets of Rage when you would be playing it and you'd accidentally press the button that made you do that once a level special move, and you were like, crap.
Yeah,
there goes my special move.
That was the A button, wasn't it?
And it would it would always be on like the level where there's just like one dude left or no one, and you're like, oh crap.
And just loads of love for Rob Hubbard. Rob
Hubbard for the C64 days.
C64 stuff. So just says Bill Simus says Rob Hubbard eats them all alive. I don't know if that's a comment on the quality of his music or just his I don't know, his hobbies.
So he learns the musical tastes.
It's the only way. It's the only way to progress.
But interestingly, there is a kind of small chamber orchestra in Holland called the C64 Orchestra, who have done some amazing orchestral versions of those great C64 classics.
Nice. Who did we have? We had Hadouken on the show, didn't we? Remember?
We had Hadouken. We've had a few composers on the show before.
Yeah. We had Nitin Sawhney.
Yeah, that was really good.
Who did Enslaved last, I think.
Yeah. We had...
also did the film version of Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie, which is not a very good film.
No. I'm trying to think the other guy, the Heavy Rain guy, but not the actual composer from Heavy Rain, the guy that did the stuff for Audio Network.
Jason?
Nah.
Sean?
I can't believe you forgot his name. Apologies to you, sir.
I think he sadly died, didn't he? I think.
That was the actual composer of Heavy Rain. But there was a guy on Audio Network where they used some of the music from Audio Networks for Heavy Rain, and the guy who composed that came in as well.
Interesting. Okay.
So that was cool. We should get more composers.
So composers, a way forward. Lots of
composers.
Lots of
So I've just found the Streets of Rage music because I can't actually remember what it sounds like really in my head.
Streets of Rage 2 had the best music.
This is Streets of Rage 1.
Hopefully this is coming out all right on the live stream. Yeah. Seb just hanging out.
This is when games were better than they are now.
Yeah.
If you're young,
this isn't rose tinted like
Yeah,
this is actually
no.
they were better.
if you're young and you are playing a game and you think it's good, these games are better. Even the worst game from the Mega Drive era is better than the best game now.
Yes.
True.
Okay.
Shaq Fu is better than,
Shaq Fu.
than any modern game.
That game was
Fact.
not good.
Fact.
Feeling quite cynical today, I think, Martin.
All right. Well, look. I think we talked a bit about music now. I think it's time to test all
Test
of
the
your
music.
musical knowledge. So,
I'm going to lose.
so I've prepared. What I've done is I've prepared a special musical quiz today. I'm going to have to hide this away from Guy Cocker.
Are any of them Shaq
I do
Fu?
cheat.
I've just realised that you guys are going to see the answers appear on the chat.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'll turn this
they
off.
have to.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to turn that
That's
off.
right, that's a good
yeah.
point.
No chat.
I'm wise to your game.
Seb's
Chat's off.
only the only
Bye,
one managing the
chat.
chat now. Okay.
Bye, chat.
Bye, chat.
Sorry, chat. Sorry.
So
That's
what
true,
I've got,
I will cheat.
I've got basically all you have to do is shout out when you think you know the answer. These aren't reversed or
So this is
weird.
the game, not the composer.
No, all you have to
Name.
do is name the game, but I want the specific game. I don't just want the franchise.
Okay.
So if it's a sequel or whatever.
Right.
Do this. Can I have some water, actually?
You can have some water.
No, you can't.
Cover these up.
Thank you. Yeah, let me just lean over here.
Oh, there's a mug. Oh, there's a little glass.
Okay, so let's start with
Okay.
this one. I'm going to play this.
Gears of War.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, on it. First one.
I'm impressed you got that from just that little
It's
snippet.
because I've spent so much time in the menus playing multiplayer with you, I think.
It's the
Yes.
wibbly noise at the beginning.
It's the wibbly noise that goes. I love the soundtrack from Gears of War. It's so epic.
good.
You're just like, come on. I want to chainsaw some people in the face now.
It was epic.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall I score?
You should score. So you've got one. You've got one.
Music score. Right.
All right. How about this one?
I do know this.
Do you want to get one
Say
guess?
it. Say it.
Everyone, you get one guess.
It's
and you're
Monkey
out.
Island, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Well
Wow.
done.
That's
well
pretty
done
good.
for getting that from that.
Impressive. So one to Mark.
Hopefully everyone at home can hear this. I'm hoping it comes out. Okay.
Yeah.
Seb's confident.
Seb's nodding.
Seb's confident.
Yeah.
Just listen to it for a bit.
I have another microphone here if you want to use this one.
Yeah.
You just hold it up to the speaker of your laptop.
Oh right.
I can do that. Yep.
It's
Yeah, I think I would have got it at that point.
at that point, but I'm so impressed you got it from those first.
What's
again.
the instrument? The
Monkey Island 2 is my favouriteest game of all time, so I should probably get that one.
That was in the past as well.
Yeah, that
When all games were better.
when all games were awesome
Yeah.
things.
Okay, hopefully you guys can hear this a bit
hold
better.
this. Well, we can just prop it up here somehow and then tilt it. It'll be all right. Look at that.
Look at
Perfect.
that.
Like a boss.
This is the special guest microphone.
Special guest microphone.
That's quite a beast, that microphone,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Well done. Next one then. Let's try this one. Oh. Get this.
It's GoldenEye?
It's not GoldenEye. It's on its way. I think I've stumped you.
Is it on its way because something else happened?
Well, the main theme kicks in a sec.
Something. It's not Ocarina.
It's not Ocarina of Time. It's a great tune as well.
Sleeping Dogs?
No, I think I'm going to have to call it in a minute because you've had lots of it now.
I bet I know it.
It's Final Fantasy 13.
It's not Final
It's
Fantasy.
not Final Fantasy, no.
It's Ni no Kuni.
It's not Ni no Kuni.
It's not Enslaved, is it?
Not Enslaved. Oh, I'm going to have to call it. I don't think
I
anyone's
don't know,
going to
mate.
get it.
I want to say Bushido Blade.
It's Shenmue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
I'm sure
Yeah.
someone at home knew that was Shenmue.
Yeah, we can't see the chat, so.
Yeah, you barred us from finding out.
Well, yeah, well, you can't do that.
When are you playing the Sonic the Hedgehog theme? Because I'll get that one.
Maybe in a bit.
How many notes of Sonic the Hedgehog do you think?
How many notes? Well,
You just get the Sega and you're there, aren't you?
well, yeah, exactly. But remember, some of these aren't originals, and they are orchestral versions of
Okay.
said songs. So those will make it slightly
Still
trickier.
about the melody.
It is about the melody. How about this one then?
Oh, that's Doom.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It is Doom.
Doom.
Yeah, I'm going to play it like.
Great
Oh,
tune.
such a great soundtrack.
Is this episode 1, mission 1?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
This is the beginning.
This is the very beginning. It's like a MIDI shred heavy metal song. It's brilliant when like all the notes suddenly start blurring out.
Can we start riffing some of the zombie screams?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what the score is. But
It's 2 to Mark, 1 to me. Martin's yet to.
Yeah, I don't know how many points.
You
Get
got
on the scoreboard.
score.
Come on, some of the Hedgehog thing.
All right, this one's a bit easier.
That's Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was 1 note, I think.
Yeah.
It is Heavy Rain. It is Heavy Rain. This is what
So
Heavy Rain is one of
sad.
my favourite
Yeah, Heavy Rain's got a
soundtracks
great
of all time. It's
It is
absolutely
beautiful.
brilliant.
That's
and-
3 to Mark.
God, you guys
Storming
are
ahead.
getting caned. All
I
right.
can't compete with 1 note. I mean, I like Heavy Rain, but
I'll
right.
name that
One note
tune.
Robbins.
All right.
You don't call him
I'll give
three-note
you-
cocker
I'll
for nothing.
I'm gonna give you an easier one. All right.
you just said that on the last one. though.
Exactly.
That was easy to be
was
fair.
Yeah, for Mark.
But this is a really easy one.
Mark R. Oh, Prap the Rapper.
Oh, we were just talking about it as well.
Do you know, I almost said Jungle Boogie then.
You were singing it earlier, weren't you?
This is the best. This is the best. I love this game
is
so
This was never on the
much.
demo disc. And so
Yeah.
no one ever bought Prap the Rapper because
Just
they
played the demo.
They just played this
Oh, well.
level over and over again.
All right. Okay.
And if you
Well
did play
done,
it, it was
Ryan.
too tough to get beyond this stage anyway.
Crack, crack, crack.
I'm
yeah,
gonna kick it up a notch again now.
And if you want to purchase Martin's karaoke
you wanna
version,
just
that
do
is
that.
available.
Orchestral version. That's not this level, by the way. I know that. That's level 4, the egg one.
Killer Instinct.
Oh, it's just 4.
One note Robbins storms
One
ahead.
note Robbins.
Oh my word!
How do you do it?
How?
How do you do it?
How? That's incredible. All right. Well,
This
it
is-
is
I think
Killer
this is-
Instinct.
I'm pretty right. I'm probably going to confuse myself now, but I think this is Grant Kirkhope.
Is it? I'm not sure.
He was
Composer.
the rare composer. So I'd like to quick say hello to him because he's been super supportive of the campaign,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grant.
Cool. Well, it's
Thanks for
in
making Killer Instinct the sound.
the sound.
When's the
what
new
the
Killer
album's
Instinct
When's the
coming?
new Killer Instinct
When are you gonna
going
stop
out?
making
My word.
sports games and do that?
Yeah, when are you going to make a proper game? Killer Instinct Connect.
All right. I know this is one of Guy Cocker's personal favourites, so I'm sure he'll get this immediately.
Res. Daytona.
Yeah.
you knew it, right? Were you guys waiting? Ah, you should give them a point.
I knew that on
on
the first note, but I didn't want to show you up.
Yeah, I think Mark gets a point on that.
No, I didn't know that one. Not as quick as you. I think I-
This is
Game
the
over,
best.
yeah. Put Sega Rally on.
Game over, yeah.
I was going to put Game Over Yeah on, but I
me just
decided
get Game
not
That
Over,
needs to be
yeah.
the last one for the quiz.
Try to mix it up with some good ones and some frankly absurd.
Daytona.
Okay, when the quiz is over, we will have that ready to go.
Game over, yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's the live stream.
That's
Okay.
an old game.
Oh gosh, this song. Okay, how about this one?
Oh, this is Metal Gear Solid.
No. Seb knows, but you have to be quiet. You guys,
Yeah, I do
I
recognise
know what
it.
this is.
say,
Say what you see.
you must have spent a lot of time playing this game,
it's
It's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
but I need a specific.
Oh,
Modern
Warfare.
Warfare 1.
Yes, it is.
think. Who got there first?
Oh, I
think
don't
it was
know.
Mark.
It's a close call. It's a
Give him a point. He needs it.
Okay, point each. There we go.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah.
It's not Modern Warfare 1, it's Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Mark.
All right, whatever. Point is,
Technicality,
Seb
get it
got
right.
that after about 2 seconds. Was like,
That's still just his favourite Call of Duty.
God, that's 5 years ago now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember a lot of time in that
but
menu.
this is just, I'm just like hanging on loading screen.
That's what I mean by a subdued menu screen. That's when you compare
Yeah.
it to Killzone's
Yeah, this
bombast.
is like I'm getting ready to,
Yeah.
getting psyched
Getting
up.
ready to kill some
Gonna put
dudes.
some attachments on, get some load ups. Gonna get Martyrdom, which they'll get rid of in subsequent games. It's a pain in the arse.
All right.
That's Dragonborn. That's Skyrim.
Yes.
Oh, nicely done.
Nicely done. I thought you'd get that one, but I like this theme. That's why I had to put it in.
You're storming ahead with 6 points. Here.
In the Classic FM Hall of Fame, number 238.
Wow.
May get higher this year.
All right. Let's make it difficult again. then.
Riding the dragons. Some JRPG.
It's not JRPG.
That's where you're wrong.
It takes a little while for this one to kick in, but when it does, you'll get it.
This is Zelda, isn't it?
It's not Zelda.
I recognise that.
It's a good one, this. It is difficult because it is an orchestral version.
All I can hear is Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm putting Sonic the Hedgehog into every single one of these.
Well, it is Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yes.
so you're right.
Is this the?
It's Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah.
Is this one off the LPO album?
Yes.
Greatest Video Game Music.
It is.
Wow.
There it is. As soon as basically when this kicks in is like when I thought you'd all get it.
Big shout out to Andrew Skeet, who's the guy who arranged this version.
It's great.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
The original.
It's sort of like a
his
mixture.
It's his arrangement of it, yeah.
I've lost them. All right, back this one.
7 hours again.
Oh, this is Final
Halo,
Fantasy VII.
Yes, it is not Halo.
Halo,
It's Final
Halo.
Fantasy 7.
It sounds like a bit at the start of Halo.
Again, I'm like Seb. As soon as I hear that tiny bit of this, I
It
played
sounds
this
like
game.
the bit from Halo.
It will,
A little bit.
This came before Halo.
No, it
so.
It's Halo. I think you're fine,
Halo.
Halo now.
Is it? Yeah, this
But
is,
Halo.
I love this. It's one of my favourite.
Is this when you first get to control Cloud?
Is this not where you get to the first town outside of Midgar?
Yes.
No, this is Final Fantasy.
This is the tune's called Anxious Heart. Anyway.
I hope we have Halo, though. 'Cause it is.
Yeah, 'cause Halo's good.
Oh man, I want to play this game though. I want to play Final Fantasy 7.
Put Sonic
Okay.
back on.
All right, how about?
Is it game over man time yet?
There's only a couple more left.
Sounds like it could come from Uncharted.
It's not Uncharted. It's older than that.
Actually, it doesn't sound like Uncharted. That's all what I was talking about.
This is another tricky one. It's another orchestral arrangement.
This
Zelda.
is from Final Fantasy.
It is. It is Zelda.
No, yes, you're right. It's
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
It's just Zelda in this case. It's another one of those. I'll take just Zelda because it's an arrangement of it from the same album.
is this the Dragon Roost Island?
I don't know. It literally on the album it just says Legend of Zelda.
Zelda.
So
Just Zelda.
it just says Zelda.
He needs the exact title of the game, but in this one
In this one,
instance,
Zelda is
Just
right.
Zelda.
I think this is from Wind Waker.
It's nice though.
It's quite relaxing.
All right.
So it might be Wind Waker.
Zelda.
I think we've done them all, so I'm going to do the very, very last one then.
Halo.
That's Halo.
Yes.
So I kind of get that, even though.
Everyone knew it was Halo. I was saving it to the end.
Did you know it sounded a bit like the other one you did that was Final Fantasy?
No,
that was
not at
Halo?
all.
Whatever.
Totally different.
It's
theme,
totally
Martin.
different.
This is
This is a great.
this is a good.
This is a great soundtrack. This is Halo 3.
They're all good.
Halo 3. Never forget.
All those ones are good. This is Halo. The one modern game that's as good as
It's a
the old
one
game.
modern game.
A new game so good it could have been released on the Mega Drive.
So I think Martin
Well,
should get
I
the point
think-
there. He said Halo.
Because he's a friend, I am going to pimp that album for Mr. Andrew Skeet. If you go, it's the greatest video game music too.
Has he done a Halo one?
Yeah, that's this. I think it's from that album, isn't it?
This one isn't actually. This is
is from-
directly from the game.
Oh, he has done
Yeah,
a version of this on
But
the
there's
album.
I think there's an arrangement of it on there. Yeah, this is great tune. So I'm going to fade this out gently.
So we've got. I need to count this up. 1, 2, 3. I can't even do that one.
I think it was.
It's
a
definitely
bit,
Mark
I
1.
mean, I think you all got pwned, frankly.
7. Mark got,
I mean,
Mark
you
got,
just-
Mark got 7. Martin got 4, and I got 3.
Well done.
I think that was fairly comprehensive from
Doesn't seem
Mark.
Well,
Um,
I think I mean it was a super drubbing.
And then
And then-
we've got this.
You're too kind.
Oh, I missed it.
You got rid of the best
You
bit.
ruined it. Play it again. Play it again.
Okay, one more time.
One more time.
And then wait.
That says
so
that
good.
basically says you're a loser, but be a happy loser.
Exactly. And
Can
put-
we
put
get that
another
on a
quarter in.
soundboard so that every time we finish the quiz, we can just play that?
All right, we'll get.
So good. It's not even music. Well, it kind of is.
We'll get the tech bots to do it.
Symbol at the end.
So
Definitely
yeah.
is.
I know the video people are busy this week, but this needs to be priority.
Yes.
So
well done, Mark. You certainly
Mark.
definitely proved your musical knowledge there with loads of those. Like that
I was
was.
sweating about that.
That was nuts.
Good work, Mr.
I should have
Robbins.
done them backwards. I was tempted to.
Oh, that the
I was
old
going to do like pub quiz style, like
yeah.
backwards, but because they were classical.
You should have done them in the style of a club singer.
in the club style. Big and Bob.
Yeah, you should have sung all of them to us, like. And you
Oh,
didn't.
what? Like that quiz show,
Like
like My
intros.
Buzzcocks.
Yeah, like that.
Anyway,
That was what was the one you got on the first note? That was just
Killer
like
Instinct.
Killer Instinct.
That
oh,
was
Killer
good.
Instinct was
That
like
was
I
very
was
good.
surprised you got on the first note because it's such an old game. But
Yeah.
You a bit of a fan, Killer Instinct.
I was. Yeah, I did enjoy that game.
Who's your favourite character?
I
Why do you seem
can't
so
remember the names of any of
angry?
them. But I quite liked the werewolf dude.
Oh, yeah, I
And
know.
the skeleton was.
Who's
quite
the
cool as
lady on
well.
the cover who was green?
Jade? No, that's the
no, that's Mortal Kombat, dude.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
The Avatar.
We had a copy of Killer Instinct on a SNES and we've lost it. I need to find it.
Oh no.
I want to play it again.
Oh dear.
That had like ridiculous.
What do you mean, oh
70s
dear? That game was
combos,
great.
didn't
Of course
it?
it was.
I love that you can do the Killer Instinct theme on one note, but you
Yeah.
can't name your favorite character. That's awesome. That's how much you love music. That's cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. We're going to run down some of your feedback now. Podcast at GameSpot.co.uk if you want to get in touch with us, or on Facebook, or on Twitter, or if you're listening live on Twitch. And I'm sure there were lots of people.
Loads. We're a bit behind on the live
I
comments.
guess
now, so we
hopefully
turn
lots of
more.
you are home guests. Sorry we couldn't keep an eye on them, but
Seb, did anyone say anything really interesting?
He's nodding his head.
Seb,
He's nodding his head.
No, no one
emphatically.
said anything at all. That was good.
Never have I seen a man nod with such vigor.
Yes.
Lots of people sort of making guesses though. Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers, Animal
Animal
Crossing.
Crossing.
Yeah, so these are wrong guesses,
These are
obviously.
all wrong guesses.
Killer Instinct was rubbish, says Matt Smith 83.
Oh, Matt
What?
Smith,
No, it wasn't.
83.
Get out.
Scathing.
Yeah.
Boot
The
him.
music was
Get on
good.
there, boot him.
Moobot, get in there.
Get in there, Moobot.
Powermonger.
All hail Moobot.
Someone's telling Powermonger that it was a man's game.
Really?
Powermonger was a man's game. That was just super hard.
Okay, next
So,
then.
feedback.
First email.
Email.
Email is from Bob from Northern Ireland.
Hi, Bob.
Who's asking us, hi GameSpot, in your last podcast you mentioned about the new Xbox console having a lockdown system on pre-owned games where you buy your game new with an activation code that you cannot resell. You'd also commented on what price would this activation code sell at, and some of you had speculated that it could be more expensive. However, would this not result in the cost of games being reduced? Currently, if a publisher/developer would sell one copy of a game at £45, then this game could resell as a pre-owned game 4 times. The publisher and developer would only receive the first sale. Yada yada yada. If they reduce the cost of the game to £20, which would be more affordable for people, and sell it as a new game with an activation code that cannot be resold, they could increase their sales 5-fold. I know this would kill the pre-owned market. However, the pre-owned market is only there as games are too expensive for most people to buy it brand new. What are your thoughts on this? Pre-owned codes. I know we've talked a little bit about this before.
As Amazon Go in the chat says, no one gonna buy that. No one gonna buy that.
No one going about it.
No one gonna buy that.
No one gonna buy
No one
that.
gonna buy that.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, the whole code thing is an interesting theory that, you know, if they are locked consoles and you can buy a code to unlock that game pre-owned, and that means that they get a cut of it.
Yeah.
But I guess the
But
sort
that exists already, doesn't it, with online codes and.
well, yeah, it does, but purely for multiplayer, but it doesn't apply to single-player experiences. So if you had something like, say, Heavy Rain, and you bought it and then it was sold pre-owned, the publisher wouldn't get any money from that, nor would the developer. So I guess having a code that reactivates that game for a reduced price would make sense.
Yeah.
But I guess it's whether they would be willing to do it at a reduced price.
It's an interesting one. I mean, as I've just moved over more to PC gaming, the idea that you sort of just buy a PC game, the disc you never even use, you just activate the code on Steam.
Yeah,
a
you
similar
don't
system
even-
to that wouldn't be that far fetched, I don't think.
No.
Because I can't sell like DMC or whatever I'm playing at the moment. I finished the game, I can't sell it because I've used that code. That doesn't seem like I'm being ripped off because PC games cost a lot less.
It costs less, and you can, move them around different platforms.
Yeah.
If you, platforms, I mean computers.
Well, yeah,
if you want to play them wherever you are.
The PC system
it's non-obtrusive
best to me. I mean, I don't
Again,
know.
it depends on Steam's fine. Like I think everyone accepts Steam quite happily into their lives, but
In their hearts.
in their hearts and out of their wallets. But I think people, it's really important if that's going to work. Then anything that any platform maker does has to be a system that elegant. It has to be easy to use and not like it would be now. Like imagine if the 360 did that, it would be like hell on earth. And the PlayStation probably spend all of its life just downloading things.
Yeah.
If they do it properly, I could see it happening. But at the same time, I don't think Microsoft or Sony would be likely to really do it just on the basis that the bad taste it would leave in the mouths of so many, I think would be bad for them.
Yeah.
Like if
Oh yeah.
I think it makes more sense, and I think I may have said this last week, I just think it makes more sense for them to maybe have a code with every single game, but the code gives you something that's not basic. I reckon there's the more I think about it, the more I think the idea would be that there'll be like a basic access, which will be sort of the meat of the game, and then this code that I think will be across every game will give you additional features that may include multiplayer, but may include like some additional. So kind of like the way we have it now with a lot of games, but it'll just be more formalized and it will just be tied into everything. Like every game will be encouraged to come with a thing, because I think the idea of locking people out would be so tough for them to overcome in the buy our system part of the exchange there, that I think people would actually choose not to buy it, because I just think it'd be too much too soon.
Yeah.
Steam is slightly different. Like Steam, Steam's proven it can work. Like it's taken a long time, but it's the kind of.
I think they're gonna have to take a leap eventually, though. That's the thing. It's
Maybe
now
next generation after next.
I don't think there will be as what we know of as a generation after next, though. As in a standard home console. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's the next generation of consoles are going to require always on online, and I think you're going to be able to sell your games used, do the same thing you're doing it right now. But one thing's for sure, when that PlayStation 4 is presumably announced next week, they won't talk about any of this stuff. It'll be here are the games.
Well, I mean that's a good thing. That's what sells these things ultimately, isn't it? Are the great games.
And that's got to be remembered, that we don't know anything about these consoles, so it's sort of let's find out whether they're worth buying first.
I think on a trust, because that's on a basic trust level. Do I trust the PlayStation Store? I look at the price. It's not even the hacking thing. It's I look at the prices of new games on the PlayStation Store, and I scoff.
I'd be astonished if anyone told me that they bought a game like Mass Effect or whatever is on sale.
Well,
for 50 quid.
My housemate Ben, who works with Zedina upstairs, he bought Hitman for £60.
What? That's even more inexcusable because he lives with you.
I know. I did say that to him when I got home. I was like, Ben, you could have.
Do you know it's 15 quid on
charts? Though. They do appear in the download charts, though, don't they?
Yeah.
These full price games.
That's true.
Is this the same Hitman that has been like half
Nino
price
Cooney's doing
the
well.
day it launched?
Yeah, but he bought it on day of launch.
Sorry, we're having a side conversation. Nino Cooney's doing well on the download store. I don't know how much it costs on.
Is it 50? I think,
probably 50. But that's because you can't buy it.
The only place you can get hold of it, right?
That's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I did sort of go, mate. You should have just said we've got like a billion copies out of work.
Well, apart from that, Hitman was the game that was discounted to about 15 quid the week after
the
release.
Second it came out.
Well, he was bored. He really wanted to play it, and he didn't want to go outside.
But
They pay handsomely on ZD, don't they?
Huh?
It's the market they're looking for. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
It's raining. I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
Amazon would get it to you next day, or other retailers.
Just
available,
if they remain. If there are any
it's
left.
unfathomable. Anyway.
But like that basic trust, like Sony, I think like if they sort their store out and they start offering me those competitive deals, that's like I bought into Steam, like I literally bought into Steam through hundreds of great deals, and now it's just like the thing what I have. As is my iPad. Like so many deals means that I just sort of And it gets to the point where I've put so much money into their virtual economy that I'm now like, well, I might as well just live on this now.
Yeah, but it's because it's convenient to you and it's reasonably priced. That's why you did it in the first place. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have done it.
Exactly.
So,
and £60 is not
no
reasonably priced.
£60 is ZDNet money.
Exactly.
When you're a high roller,
one of those
on
guys
ZD.
that are earning up there. That's crazy, right?
Bang GameStop money. So.
No, it's not. I was going to read the next question, but it's actually we just discussed it. It's about the high price of of games on download stores. But thank you, Chris Paul, anyway, for the question.
For anyone that isn't aware, there is going to be a major Sony announcement on the 20th, which is next Thursday. Is that
11
right?
p.m.
11 p.m. our
11
time.
p.m. GMT.
Are we all excited?
Which isn't so good, but we should do a prediction special.
We should do next week. Yeah,
on next
definitely.
week's podcast.
Can't wait for my lime green PSV.
What you got any predictions?
Martin thinks that the whole event's just going to be a new colour for the Vita.
It won't.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an announcement of Xperia Play 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In lime
That's
green,
what I'm
please.
hoping
Oh,
for.
we've still got one of them somewhere. Should try and dig it out. Yeah,
It was in one of the cupboards. I don't think we've got the charger for
It's in
it.
a I've got the charger.
You got the charger.
I got the charger.
I think any BlackBerry charger will work on
Yeah.
that, because for my shame, I did have one.
Oh no!
That is shameful. Did you use it? Did you play?
But do you know? It was really, really good for emulation
Yeah.
stuff, because there's so many emulators
On Android.
on the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
And I owned lots of SNES and Mega Drive cartridges legitimately, which means I should be allowed to have the ROMs as a backup
Sure.
in case my cartridges break down.
Thorny subject.
So
It's a grey area.
It's
but
it's a
yes.
grey area, isn't it?
Yeah.
But having the actual joypad on the thing made it a really. It was basically a portable emulator that required none of the hacking or backwards complications that any other sort of fixed units had. So from that point, it was fun to play Secret of Mana, etc., etc.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the go.
Been how long has it been out? 2 years now. I'm trying to remember when I went to see it.
2.5 years.
Yeah,
ago.
the hardware in it's quite dated by today's standards, but for emulators, it still works
you're
great,
good to
right?
go.
Yeah,
So-
well, unfortunately, the hardware was dated when it launched. That's the real issue with it.
yeah, it's a shame, really. I remember playing Minecraft Pocket Edition on it.
How do we get
Is
to Xperia Play? I'm trying to
That
remember.
was my
remember.
prediction for the
That was the
20th.
prediction.
That was,
Right.
the predictions for next week.
They'll announce that in Xperia Play, and then they'll be like, and one more thing, a lime green PS1. And then people like, it'll blow everyone's mind. It'll be like when they announced the Rocker and then the iPod like Nano at the same time, and you'll be like, oh my god, we've been spoiled.
They didn't do that at the same time. It was a separate event.
This is a good. we've still got a bit of the show to go, so let us know your predictions, and we'll
we'll
read
read
some
some
of them out. I think I saw some earlier people saying they're expecting it to cost £400.
What colour would you like your new video? It's dream colours, everyone. Dream colours. We do a whole feature on it.
Next question is from Eric Song, who says, do you think there are any games out there which are both educational as they are fun? I mean, this is a game beyond the quality level of cheap and cheesy flash games from the BBC Bite Size website.
The only one I can think of is Rocksmith that you played.
Yeah, that is.
Did that teach you any more advanced guitar?
Well, the things he's saying here, the examples I could think of were simulators and the Worms series. I'm not sure how Worms is educational, but we'll humour you in this case. Do you think it's possible to make MMOs or first-person shooters or racing games that teach people things that they would also learn in schools? Rocksmith, yes, is good if you want to learn basic to intermediate guitar.
So you're learning music? That's
That's
it's
an educational thing. That's good. Yeah.
Maybe the Total War games are so incredibly well researched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think you
That's
can
true.
learn a lot of stuff from just the sheer amount of content in there.
Yeah.
Football Manager as well. You can learn how to be a football manager.
That's what it's like
very
to be
specific.
a football manager.
One of the things we found out at Minecon was that Minecraft's being used a lot in schools across
that's
Europe to teach people various things: science, maths, geography. There's so many things that game can do that work really well. So,
None of them mining,
huh?
sadly.
Other than mining,
None of them mining. Science, maths.
I know all
Not
about
mining.
American history now from Assassin's Creed 3.
Yep.
The Apple of Eden and the
it's fairly loose interpretation of American history, though, isn't it?
in the new
Or was
one.
that the joke? Because I haven't played the game.
Yeah, were you joking there, Mark, or are you genuinely trying to pitch this to us?
Yeah.
You idiot.
Well,
Nothing like history.
the tyranny of King Washington has evil Washington.
Evil Washington, yeah.
You know, that's
But
totally realistic.
I do love where you have these games set in historical, and Assassin's Creed 2 was another great example. It's just, it is really loose. It's like, it's Hollywood's version of the history.
Yeah.
But you got to appreciate the amount of research those guys
Well,
did.
because I was writing a thing for Assassin's Creed recently, so I went back and started to just, in the Assassin's Creed Wikipedia, look through the storyline to make sure I was getting it right. And I just kept clicking and clicking on all these things. By the end of it, I was like, wow, this storyline is complicated. Like, complicated.
You've got to do it though, because in an Assassin's Creed 3 preview that I wrote that it was set in the American Civil War, and that was. I was told fairly quickly that was wrong.
You must have been shot down.
Yeah, pretty
Gone
quick.
down in flames.
Oh my word!
Just that little thing.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah.
There's a game called Space Chem, by the way, that I think is it's a take on like physics and stuff, and it's not entirely accurate, but it's good. It's quite good.
Matt Smith 83 says Left 4 Dead is educational. How to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
We were talking about surviving the zombie apocalypse, and
Something we talk about
office
every lunchtime,
would
like every
be-
other week.
Yeah.
because you guys were saying go on your own, but
No, I was saying I would eat all of you almost immediately.
okay, all right.
Which meant that we had to eat you, so you wouldn't eat us.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was like, give it your best shot, because
Which one of these two lovely gentlemen would you eat first?
whichever one's nearest.
That's it. There's just no.
As soon as the zombie apocalypse hit, I've gone feral. I'm barely
Like
recognisable.
you just had lunch, but you're like, I better get this in now before
Let me
the.
guess, you're not even a zombie yet. Are
No,
you?
I'm like, I don't know where my next meal is. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to be the one that like just, goes right.
Basically,
to beat the
itching to
monsters.
go cannibal, aren't you?
To beat the monsters, you got to become the monsters.
Wow.
That's it, really.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Or on a similar level, DayZ would be far more educational as a zombie apocalypse would go, because it is a lot more realistic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stock management.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to keep good tabs.
Were there any other things from Twitch that we should read out? Because I'm out of email questions.
Out of email questions, there's lots of stuff coming in general. Bob the Cat Lol says, this is about the Sony event next week. I predict a built-in cappuccino machine and cologne dispenser in the new Xbox to appeal to the metrosexual market. That could happen.
I'd buy it.
I think
Sold.
Spray me.
people are hoping for a nicely designed console for the PlayStation
Good.
4. They were sort of,
Such extravagant demands there.
disappointed by the latest PlayStation and its
If it's
plasticiness.
freaking glossy, I'm gonna go over there.
You want it matte?
Firebomb Sony.
This is
Like,
Bill.
no.
Bill Seamer says this is something we were talking about in the office. That he said he got a copy of Hitman Absolution and Far Cry 3 for nothing, free with his 7870, which I think is an ATI card.
It is an ATI card because they've recently announced a new deal with that. So you get Bioshock Infinite, Tomb Raider, and Crysis 3 when you buy one of their new cards.
Right. And on the subject of PC stores, Lim AK, who is a moderator and is trying to become not a moderator, said GOG is a great alternative, but their selection is significantly smaller, and also as a site they are much smaller, but they do sell all their games DRM-free, don't they? I think.
They do, yeah, because I've got The Witcher 2 from GOG. And it's indeed, you can just log in and download it and install it wherever you like.
Do what you like with it.
Yeah.
They focus more on these sort of indie and old games, but their old games they do make run on all the new Windows, which is very good.
And some Linux as well, I think.
Possibly, yes.
Sure, why not?
That can be a thing.
And that's about it. Lots of questions earlier on in the chat about Aliens and have we played it, and I played it at a preview
right.
stage, and so our review, bit of backstory, our review went up this morning, ended up with a 4.5 score.
Yeah.
Kevin Van Ord reviewed it. in
So
the
there have
States.
been several reviews on the internet of this game that.
No.
I was about to finish that sentence. There's several reviews on the internet. of this
But
game that have
obviously
been-
the only one
that
you
have
read
been-
was the GameSpot definitive
Yes,
verdict.
but there was one which is the EGM review, which was a 9, and it had some of just
Had some hyperbolic.
it just had
phrase,
the
didn't it?
best lines I've
Not
ever.
seen that one in the roundups.
We'll send it
it's
to
so
you.
good.
Don't tempt me.
It's on
so
Metacritic.
good.
It's on Metacritic.
It's one of the best things. Martin was reading out lines from it earlier. I was just like, wow, it's brilliant.
Liquid Greg says Metacritic is around a 40 at the moment.
Is that lower than Dumpf?
We can do a comparison. I think, what did we give DMF?
What do we give? What?
Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh gosh, I don't even know anymore. Like it was low. but,
Yeah. So to to answer the questions we were getting, have you played the finished version?
Nope.
Aliens?
I'm afraid not. Not
We
the
have
finished version.
unfortunately
By
not
the sounds of the
received
performance
copies.
issues, no one has. Bam!
Yes.
It's something that you were saying you wanted to play, but we haven't received copies.
I'm going to buy one. I'm going to buy one off a retailer tonight. I've already worked out.
You can say there's some good deals.
Green
on
Man
it.
Gaming has a good deal on it. I'm
It's
going
like
to buy it off them.
$17.99 or
Yeah, something like that. I'm going to pay.
Oh
it.
wow, that is cheap.
Yeah, I'm going to play it.
That's on PC though.
Yeah, of course.
It's cheap. Sorry, I'm just getting cheap nuke forever reviews. Wow. They just keep going and going and going. Like everyone reviewed this game.
So I played it at the previous
3
stage,
for
and
GameSpot,
I wasn't. I didn't enjoy it massively, but like it, a lot of people did lay into it at that stage, and then it's had an uphill battle since then. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's been so long in development.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just think when something's that long in development, the questions are going to be raised, and
Well, there's an expectation around it as well. I mean, for people that are in the industry, I guess people that are buying the game, couldn't care less. But it's the expectation from my side is that it's an Aliens game, and I really love the Aliens movie.
yeah.
So.
Just play the DS one. That was great.
Which version were you playing on the live stream? It was.
We were playing AVP.
AVP.
We played the original. We played the original on the original PlayStation one, which was PC as well, and we also played AVP 2000 as well.
Okay.
2000.
Yeah, the original one is so ghetto, but I just we're like because we're playing on a PS3, but it emulates PS1 pads. There's no analog sticks, so as soon as you start playing, your immediate reaction is to go like, great, no, can't do that. You have to sort of strafe with like the trigger buttons, and
That's
then
what to do with all first-person shooters, wasn't it?
yeah. But it feels so horrible, and every time I tried to play it, I was just like my thumbs just kept wanting the sticks to do it.
But I used to play the PC version of that one. That's the original Rebellion AVP, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the office I used to work in, that was the lunchtime game. That bizarrely, that was the New Scientist office.
They were quite.
They loved it.
Those
That was
games
their
were pretty
really
fun.
good.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
great
Yeah.
fun.
Scared the willies off me.
Yeah.
Got no willy now.
Which is
Just got scared off.
which
Just fell off.
which is a shame that your willy fell off. Anyway,
It is, isn't it? It is. That's certainly haunted me.
Our current game of choice for lunchtimes is Counter-Strike, and we should get people involved on that
good.
because although I don't like it when other people get involved because I don't win then.
No,
So
but
when
it's
the
good
general
practice,
populace.
man.
Contradictory
Such good
thoughts.
practice. I think we're all getting way better. Ford's really good.
Sarah won. Well, Sarah was very close. She was where you get to the knife in what's the game that you play? Gun game, basically. Whatever. it's
Arms
called.
race.
Arms race. Yeah.
I had 2 in a row yesterday. Two victories in a row, which was great. Or was it the day before? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Might have been
it's
last
not etched
Friday.
in my memory. Sorry.
Well,
It was a
Why
great
do you
day.
remember?
It was a pretty
That's
beautiful
poor
time for
management.
me. Like 2 in a row.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well
that's
done.
good
2 nice
management.
kills.
Well done.
Beautiful.
Back to good
That is amazing, though, that you're still playing it.
It's Counter-Strike Go.
How many years, though?
No, it's Go.
Yeah,
it's the one that came out last year.
It was the
But it's the same
still
game.
Still the same game.
It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
game.
Obviously, it's got the new engine and so on and so forth.
New
but it's
engine,
still-
new maps, but it is the same game. Yeah.
But it's so,
we
so
hardly
good.
played Dust, do we? Because it's D-Dust.
Yeah.
Because it's.
We never. Yeah, it's all about arms race.
Yeah, it's all about
But
arms
they
race.
it needs new maps.
I'm
in
trying
arms
to
race.
get. I'll be happier to play when we've got enough of a team that we can seriously go in and play the real Counter-Strike modes. That's when That's when you're not even playing too much Counter-Strike.
Well, let's just keep practicing on arms race. Eventually,
Rush.
we'll get good enough, and then we'll go straight into Dust.
Or Dust 2.
Or Dust 2,
I used
whatever.
to play that in the before anyone had broadband internet. They used to have the gaming cafes. Used to have the killing fields. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was good times. What happened to the gaming cafes? There's one at HMV, the Chocodero.
Chocodero one. Yeah.
That's still. I think there's certainly one on the Oxford Street branch.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Gamer base, isn't it?
Gamer
That's what it's
base.
called.
Yeah.
I guess. As soon as broadband became more prolific, there was no need really, unless you sort of.
But you lose that
You lose-
camaraderie,
yeah.
like having your teammates around you, which I think you get that, don't you, in the office? So
I'd much rather play in the office. Though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, my broadband is with Virgin, and for some reason it's dropped off to like. I was trying to play Crysis 3 beta last night, and my ping was 999.
Honestly, every other day is a Virgin woe for you at the moment.
Just-
It's not good.
There's a
Are they
Virgin
listening?
woe. No,
They should be listening, shouldn't
they did answer their the tweet that we sent out because we tried ringing them and they didn't do anything, and then they answered the tweet, and then and I posted on their forum, and then we rang them up, and then they gave us an £8 discount. They know it's a problem in the area, but I know this is this is just related to me, but Virgin can do one.
For a counterpoint,
Sucker showed.
I subscribe to Virgin, and for the past few weeks, I've had a very satisfactory service.
Okay, well that's
So-
balance with the
There we
BBC.
go.
It's kind of BBC level balance that we strive for here at
What?
this website.
If you play Counter-Strike or indeed any other first-person shooter, could be Aliens,
Or Dota.
then let us know. Just simply email Mark.
Simply no.
Or any game.
Do not do
What games
that.
have you played?
What games?
Tell Mark.
No, I'm playing Ni no Kuni. I'm offline. I don't care. I don't want to play anything else.
And Matt Smith is just speculating that I've just been downloading too much porn. But that's not true.
That's not true. You could be illegally downloading movies and TV shows. Hey,
no.
Hey.
I don't. That doesn't happen, and I don't download lots of movies and TV shows.
There's a reason Guy still has his video player plugged in.
Exactly. I'm just watching.
You've got
GameSpot.
VCR. Like,
Yeah,
it's like-
his old classics.
It might be because I'm watching too much awesome GameSpot content
Oh,
at home.
streaming all those
It
awesome
almost
videos
certainly
to
is
GameSpot.com,
not.
mate.
It almost
Yeah.
certainly is not that.
Yeah.
But it could be.
Well, anyway, thank you for your feedback, everyone, and for your questions. Podcast@gamespot.co.uk if you want to get in touch with us. Right, quickly then. Games coming out this week. Pretty slim, suffice to say. Aliens Colonial Marines is the big one. Dragonborn as well on PS3. Plus, what else?
What was the game?
Imagine Horses is. Like,
Thank God you finished that word.
Imagine Horses. It's got a Z on the end.
Imagine them doing what?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the
my?
thing.
Is that my?
Is
dinner
that
from
a game?
Tesco?
You just have to imagine them.
You sit there and it
Just a
just
blank
shows
screen.
you, like, it gives you like a story of a horse and you just imagine it. It's great.
You choose what ready meal to put the horse in.
Oh, there we go.
And then you've got to
There are the
distribute.
topical jokes. Brilliant.
I'm choosing a burger.
Actually, anyone that's international might not understand that joke.
Oh, so
I think that story's gone
Is
well.
that going
already,
well?
yeah.
Okay.
there was an amazing. Someone started a fake Asda Twitter feed the other day, and it got into a fight with the official Tesco Twitter feed, and all it was doing was trolling Tesco. It was absolutely amazing. It just kept like posting pictures of like horses to this one, and because Tesco thought it was the real Asda, they were just like, oh, it was so good.
That's brilliant.
Honestly, I followed it for about half an hour on Twitter, just watching them argue with each other. Oh, so
Get back
good.
to work, slacker.
For our international.
This was at home. This was,
Okay.
this was at after hours. Also out is Super Black Bass 3D on 3DS.
That's the big one.
Sounds
isn't it?
like Guy watches on
I
his,
know.
on his VHS.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, and that's it.
When did
really.
Emerta come out? That was last week, wasn't
That
it?
was last week, yeah.
Yeah, that came out last week. The review of which is now up on the website.
Missed the boat
Our
on that
review.
one.
I'm sorry, I should be more on this, but our review of Mia's Marta, was it? What was the game we just reviewed that's just come through? It was on the calendar.
What?
I must be getting
Proteus?
Proteus, yeah.
Proteus hasn't gone up yet. It will be going up later today, hopefully, and you'll see.
Is
Proteus.
that out this week?
It's
been
been
out?
out.
It's
For,
already
it's
out.
been out for a little while. It's one of that I played through it, and I honestly don't know what to make of that game. It's have you heard about Proteus? It's an indie. It's an indie game.
If you love sound, mate.
Well, yeah, but it's
Show me a picture.
it's like an 8-bit world that you walk through, but you don't really do anything. All you can do is walk around and look. That's it.
Okay.
And it's procedurally.
Seen the pictures.
Yeah, it's procedurally generated, and as you walk around, the music changes, and when you sort of walk past animals, when they jump, those are like little musical notes, and that's it. That's all it is. You don't really do anything, but I guess you either get something from that experience or you don't.
It's a very oral experience.
Yeah.
I just think of that awful UK 90s B movie with Craig Fairbrass with the half man, half shark monster, also called Proteus.
I don't know that, but I want to
Craig
watch it.
Fairbrass. Is that going to
sure
be
it's-
the next Call of Duty?
Look it up. That's
Wow. Well, there's
well worth a watch.
Proteus is a weird game, according to Lim AK, and Proteus is a boring waste of my £6, says Partly Mimbles.
What are you looking up?
What are you looking at?
Oh dear.
Craig Fairbrass Bridges.
Yeah, Proteus definitely divides opinion. So I'm interested to see what happens with our review tomorrow.
Cool. But it's a bit of a slow week. Next week we've got Assassin's Creed
Next
DLC.
week's a big week.
We got
Crisis 3.
Crisis 3 and Metal Gear Rising.
Metal Gear Rising, yeah. All on a
Revengeance.
Tuesday. It's Tuesday Reviews Day.
Tuesday review day.
Yeah.
Probably out on Friday over here.
Friday over here. Yeah.
Tuesday.
So next week's a big one. I'd also like to take this time to announce, because I just got sent an email, which is amazing.
To announce I'm leaving this job.
I'm leaving this job
Joining
because I've been offered
rival video game
3
website.
times as much money. No, it's, from LinkedIn, and apparently I had one of the top 10% most viewed LinkedIn profiles in 2012.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Right, cash
not a single
out.
job offer. It's just, what's the point?
We need
I
to
only
monetize
learned
this.
about this recently that you can find out who's been visiting your LinkedIn profile.
You can,
I
yeah.
didn't know this.
Yeah.
This is.
If only you could do that with Twitter and
Well,
Facebook.
Facebook would go into meltdown.
Facebook it'd be weird on Facebook though, wouldn't it?
So I only just found out about it. on the weekend.
But the reason I think it's useful on LinkedIn because it's less, it's a professional thing. If you want to see that some HR guy looked at your profile, clearly looked at it and went, not this guy,
Right.
then we didn't send you a message. It's like, well, clearly I need to update this in some way or
Would
change
you say it's
it.
professional to send around a series of emails saying what percentage of people your profiles was viewed in? So you a little award going, yeah.
Well, this is
Little
this is
badge.
from this is from LinkedIn directly.
Exactly.
They literally just sent me this email.
seems very unprofessional to me.
I don't know.
It's like, check out this LinkedIn whore. Everyone loves it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you in the top 10%?
I don't know.
No,
I
you
haven't
weren't.
checked my emails.
Right,
I
no,
was
you were.
I was in the top 2%.
You in top 2%?
No. That's just how it was, just to make Mark feel bad.
Wow. And you can pay for more access if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to get LinkedIn Pro,
Yeah,
right.
and then you can really dig into.
You can dig into so much.
I've got an email from
scary.
LinkedIn in my personal account. It says, top news for Martin, how we can lower the price of the valuable campus experience. So suck on that, Mark. Suck on that.
It's so much better.
I will go and suck a chode. Okay, so sorry, the chode things from Minecon. It's just
That's dark.
it's not dark.
You can't say that
Chode?
on a podcast.
Showed.
You can't say that on a podcast.
It's just the French word for hot. That's all it is. Except pronounced in a terrible British accent.
So when I put that in Google Image Search.
Let's move on.
Either it
from there.
is or it's not, and Seb's just looking at me like I've just made a terrible mistake.
It's
I've
gonna
made a
become-
terrible mistake, haven't I?
Yeah, it's gonna.
Technically, it's right.
I am. I'm right, aren't I? That's where it came from.
You don't say chode.
It's gonna become a thing like Tat Smasher. Where people
No,
are
it's
gonna,
not
gonna-
Tat
I'm making that damn game. Whether the games industry wants me to or not.
I completely lost my train of thought of where we are now.
think
I
you
think
were
we're at the
wrapping it
end
up
of the
and-
show. Yeah, I think we're about to go. But thanks very much for coming on, Mark.
Thank you
Pleasure
very
to have
much.
you. And for your video game music knowledge, one more time, the link where we can go to vote.
Go to classicfm.com. There'll be a Hall of Fame vote there. The voting finishes this Friday, so you've got till
Get on
midnight
it.
Friday.
3
on it.
days.
Video game music's good.
Video game music is good. Thank you, Guy
It's the
Cocker.
best.
I just realised that. Thank you, but I just realised we didn't talk about what games we've been playing. I finished Devil May Cry, and it's well good in it. So buy it, especially on PC.
It is good.
I really like that game.
I've got nothing more to share with you other than I'm still playing Ni no Kuni.
I've got nothing more to share with you.
I have nothing more
I
to
have
say.
nothing
so-
more to say
We'll see you.
today. No, I'm playing Ni no Kuni, and that's it. So,
Yeah, just the price.
yeah, you, Martin?
Dota, mate.
Dota?
Yeah.
Mark?
I was coming in playing Final Fantasy Tactic Advance 2.
On the.
That's DS.
On the Xperia Play.
Xperia Play 2. I've got
Yeah.
my
All right,
advance.
we'll buy one, okay? Get it.
All right, so remember to get in touch with us, podcast at gamespot.co.uk. We'll be back again next Tuesday at 1 for our PlayStation prediction special.
Ooh.
Yes.
Does it become a special now?
It's a special
All right.
now. I'll think of something cool.
Can we get
can do.
Kaz
Get,
Right
get
on.
Kaz, yeah.
We'll get Kaz on.
Get Ken talk about his next cell process.
Yeah, we'll get them all in. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good.
And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.